So we're laughing. Okay, so Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So I thought maybe we'd start. Well, actually, what I was going to start off with, thank God you've survived 2025. 2025 has been a storm and a half. Yeah, in every way. Think about it, every way. And like a good storm, it always leaves back what should have been firmly grounded. Everything else is blown away. Yeah. And I find that 2025 has reflected that. And in many ways, personal ways, but also kind of when you look around life as well. So, for example, um, what we've been talking about for about a year now, that there's going to come a time around Christmas or just before then, where the natural kind of consensus reality is going to be punctured. It's going to be like fragmented, and that fragmentation is going to come from some UFO kind of thing, and it's here now. Yeah, whether you accept it or not makes no difference. That thing has popped. Whether it's true or not makes no difference anymore. And with that, the spiral is now with your belief systems, your religions. For those who see the data and say, this is something extraordinary. And it also shows the arrogance of human beings. And I'll tell you what we're like. We're like, we've gone to the sea, the ocean, we've taken a cup, we've filled it up with the water, and we've said, there's no sharks in the ocean because there's no sharks in the cup. Well, that bit is now just fragmenting. We're now going into this new way of no, not thinking, but becoming, where you're going to realize everything that you felt was firm. And that could be, it started off first with your health systems and your governments and all of that kind of stuff. But now it's getting to your personal space. Everything you thought that was yours, belonged to you, created your sense of identity, is just fragmenting. It's just falling apart. And the reason that has to happen, you always think that sense of betrayal or loss can leave the individual vulnerable. But it's the fruit of your growth. It is the very essence of what's going to make you who you are. Now, either you realize that, or you come to a point in life when you will be made to realize that. And I feel 2025 has been that. But in that, and I reflect back, I think, what a great gift to be given. That in all the storm, in all that happens, you remain solid, you remain present, you remain aligned, seeing the drama for what it is, and seeing the illusion. All great masters talk about Maya, and Maya is considered to be the illusion. The illusion isn't out there. The illusion's in here. The fact is that we have an illusion that there is a solid part of us that is only made through these interactions, through these sense of security, whether it's your pension, whether it's your doctor, whether it's your health service, whether it's your brother, sister, children, whatever it is. All of that is illusional. And over this year, I've seen so many people that have left their mortal coil, so to speak. Some young, some old. And you realize, as much as you wish to avoid the inevitable, by accepting the inevitable, life becomes richer in the now. So while all these things may be life-changing and seem to remove the very ground of your being, I think what you realize is, and this is would be my personal experience in this, is that when you fall from the cliff, you realize there is nowhere to fall. There is nowhere to fall. The illusion was that you're standing on a cliff. That's the illusion. And so we are going through this awakening, a huge awakening to that humanity in 2026 is going to be swept. It's going to be swept. And you can see it. It's on its way. Most people will see it afterwards. And so, oh God, we used to live like that. Yeah. And one of those things is the current state of psychology and therapy. How? So I'm looking at some work that I'm doing. I'm able to demonstrate that the very psychological models that you have out there, whether they're based on Freud, there's only four of them, right? There's only four of them. So they call the four forces. All of them, psychoanalysis, behaviorism, um, transpersonal, and the cognitive stuff, CBT stuff, if you're thinking you hate yourself, make us like yourself, that kind of thing. All of those are now becoming less and less effective. And the reason is very clear. They're all based on fixing the illusion, not the ego. Before I used to identify that it is your ego, but it's your illusion. They're all about, so you will find um, therapy that has no roots, has no depth to it. Therapy that advocates to blame the other. Therapy that fixes the ego. So, of these four forces, while they are useful, when you get into a panic state, it's useful to use a bit of CBT, or when you're having a spiritual crisis, go to a transpersonal psychologist. They're useful, but they don't provide you the picture, the whole picture. And the whole picture is actually based on the fact that your illusion is your illness. Your illusion is your illness. It's the fact that we are deluded, the fact that we look at life through some glasses that have been conditioned and have been placed upon you. And you have this ownership that you somehow own life and you own all those around you. There's an ownership, there's a belonging, a me culture. And this is advocated, this is strengthened, which is why it never fixes anything. It just pushes it further down the line. You can blame your parents, you can blame your ancestry, you can blame this, you can blame that, but the reality is you've got to fix yourself. And whether it's trauma, where we become contracted in the illusion, or whether it's anxiety, where we get trapped in the illusion of tomorrow, or whether it's depression, where we get attached to the illusion of yesterday. The illusion creates our illness. Meditation is one singular path which will help you step away from your own illusion. That's all been my work, as has been the work of my teachers. And it's worth remembering them today. For today, we are commemorating uh, around the dates when they passed away. So there was one, Baba Ranjit Singh, and another one, Baba Arjan Singh. Both of them great wisdom teachers. And what did they leave you? This same message. Wake up to your illusion. Because if you don't wake up now, life has an expiry date. And at that point, it's hard to wake up because it's extracted from you. So this great learning, teaching, isn't about becoming all chilled out, etc. It's actually taking life for what it is. And this is the change, the paradigm shift. that we are all now starting to experience in some intensity. For some, huge intensity. For some, something doesn't quite feel right. Yeah, so there's one end of the spectrum, the other one is having a proper meltdown. Yeah, but this is where the consciousness now holds it together. That's the only thing that will provide you with the answers. And this is where the fifth force comes in. So, Gurmat psychology, or psychology that's based on consciousness. Psychology that's based on consciousness. So, there are two ways you can look at psychology. Psychology that's based on the ego, let's fix the ego, and that psychology that says, what is the ego? Looks at the illusion. Okay, so one is the mirror, the other is the reflection. Okay, that's another way of looking at it. All reductionist, all ego fixing, I call them ego fixers, are the four forces of psychology. Consciousness based psychology is the only psychology that can provide you with something that can help with this illness, with the illusion, with the illness of the illusion. Because unless you see the mirror, you will always be trying to fix the reflection. Yeah? So you have to step beyond. So consciousness is another way of looking at this is consciousness is the light bulb, right? And the light lampshade is your egoic structure. The current situation is trying to organize the lampshade. What we are saying is we've got to get to the light to see that we're not the lampshade. You understand? One is fixing the illusion that you are the lampshade, the other one is showing you through experience, not teaching you, not telling you listen to me and believe what I'm saying. It's saying you have a look at this for yourself and you realize you're not the lampshade. And your lampshade is all the attachments that we have, all the relationships, all the sort of stuff that's around us, your kind of illusion. I hope that makes sense, right? Didn't get too technical, but it makes sense. Anyway, so Gurma therapy, the fifth force, is now opening that doorway, and that simply means consciousness based psychology. That's it, not ego based psychology. And therefore, therapy you can only, if therapy worked, why have we got so much mental illness? Ask yourself the question. I read an article the other day 20 antidepressants and their common side effects. And you ask yourself, if this is so profoundly a cutting edge of science and all this, how come it ain't working? Simply comatizing people, putting them into addiction. But no one wants to talk about this because the moment you speak, you become a pariah. The moment you talk about this, you're a cult leader. The moment you show the other person their own illusion, they'd rather break the mirror. And this is what you get. And you find this everywhere. Always find this everywhere. Anyone who speaks, who shows you the mirror, becomes the enemy. Unless the ones who see the mirror for what it is and realize, hey, I need to sort out the reflection of it, but I know I'm the mirror, right? It has to go beyond that. Anyway, let's do some meditation and get into the light bulb moment so we can see the lampshade. Yeah. Okay, so as usual, we change our posture, we straighten our back, pull your shoulders back a little bit, pull your chin in, and we're going to enter our space today with the question of what or who am I? Okay, so we're going to look at ourselves with that inquisitive awareness. Actually, have a look at who I am. Don't take it Don't assume you know who you are, right? So open. And to do that, you're going to first adjust your posture, pull your chin in, make sure your eyes are closed, your mouth is closed. And then as you draw your next breath in, you're going to bring your focus to your body as a whole. So you begin to notice that there is a structure to you. There is a structure to you, okay? So it's not that I have a body, but if we were to step away from ourselves and to move our focus, we would find that we have a structure, a form. So I want you to notice the form as best as you can. And then you're going to see if you can notice anything that's going on within the structure. So there could be a pain, there could be a tightness, there could be an itch. Next, you're going to move your focus towards your eyes. And recognize that through this structure, there is awareness that resides within this structure. And this awareness at the moment is aware of what's in its field of vision. Next, you're going to move your focus towards your ears. And you notice that this structure has two openings on either side. And when you draw your focus towards them and begin to listen, the awareness within this structure hears the sound And now you're going to bring your focus beneath your nose and notice how the breath moves in and out of this structure. It's not so much that you are breathing, but more about the breath breathing by itself. And on your next breath in, you're going to move your focus within your mouth and notice that this structure has the ability to taste. The structure has a jaw, it has a roof of the mouth, it has a tongue. And finally, you move your focus above your head. Imagine there's a hula hoop, and as it moves down, you begin to notice the sensations that are within this structure, moving all the way down. On your next breath in, if you just bring your focus to the body as best as you can, remember, your intention is to know who you are or what you are. And remember, anything that you can observe can't be you. So you bring your focus now to the sensations where your chair makes contact with your body. And you're going to bring your focus upwards, becoming aware of your hips, slowly moving down your thighs towards your knees. And then from your knees, you move down towards your ankles. And then you notice your feet. Moving to the soles. Next breath in, if you bring your focus back to the seat you're on. And you notice how well the chair holds your body, holds this structure in place. Back is straight and upright. And then gently take your focus from your lower back to your middle back. From your middle back up towards your shoulder blades. Notice the shoulders. Allow them to soften. And then slowly bringing your focus down. From the shoulders to your elbows. And then from your elbows to your wrists. Notice the palms of your hands. And then notice the fingers. Next breath in, once again, coming to the eyes. And again, begin to notice the back of your eyelids, the darkness, whatever you're able to have in your field of vision. And as you breathe out, you allow your eyes to soften. Next breath in, bringing your focus towards your eyes, towards your mouth. Notice your lips. Scanning your upper lip. Scanning the lower lip. And then slowly moving within your mouth. Again, notice the sensations within the mouth, on the roof of your mouth. Notice your tongue, allow it to soften. Moving to your jaw, allow your jaw to soften. And then on your next breath out, allow your face to soften. And as the breath moves in, you become aware of the structure once again. And there is awareness of the structure and what's going on within it. Any aches, any pains, any tightness. So now you know you have a body, but yet you are beyond the body. Moving your focus beneath your nose now. And now you begin to watch the breath. Notice your breath has a rhythm. Stay with the breath. Notice that the breath is moving, yet you remain still. Notice how the breath feels. Does it feel warm or does it feel cool? On your next breath in, notice if the breath feels warm or if it feels cool. Notice how the out breath knows exactly when to stop. Just allow your focus to follow it. It stops, there's a pause, and then the breath in. Nothing that you're in charge of, all happening by itself. Allowing your breath to breathe by itself. And on your next breath in, you're going to move your focus within yourself, within the structure itself, and begin to notice what's going on within you. Is there mental activity? Is there a sense of peacefulness, calmness? And then moving your focus onto your chest and begin to notice how the body moves up as the breath moves in, and how, as the chest relaxes, the breath moves out. Your focus is now just on the chest. Begin to notice the relationship within your breath and the movement. Next breath in, you're going to take your focus a bit deeper into yourself, right where your heart is, right at the very center of this structure. And as you hold your focus there, begin to notice what's the feeling there. Not how you're feeling, but what's the feeling there. Peaceful, quiet, noisy, right at your very heart. And on your next breath out, you simply open your focus to all the sounds around you and begin to listen. And as you're listening, there's no judgment, there's no commentary, it's just listening. Now, bringing that same curiosity to yourself, begin to recognize the qualities of what you really are now, the quality of stillness, the quality of peace, the quality of presence, beyond the body, beyond the breath. There is simply presence. Notice how it feels to be the presence. When you're ready, bring your focus beneath your nose, sitting with your breath in silence. On your next breath out, you're going to just expand your focus, becoming aware of your whole body as best as you can. Noticing the structure once again, recognizing that while you have a body, you're not the body. While you have a mind, you're not the mind. You're simply this presence, the very source of the light bulb itself. And now you're going to bring your focus to the seat you're on, slowly bringing this awareness back into the body, noticing the sensations, moving your focus up so you become aware of your hips, and then gently allowing this awareness to move down towards your knees, drifting further down towards your ankles, noticing your feet, and then the soles of your feet. And when you come back to the seat again, you notice the back is straight and upright. Your shoulders, your arms, and your hands are comfortable. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Bringing your focus back to your breath. And now, as the breath moves in, we become aware of the body itself. And as the breath moves out, we sense the body itself. integrating that state of being with the body itself. Breathing in, you sense your body. Breathing out, you sense your body. Breathing in, you feel at peace. Breathing out, you feel at peace. Take a moment to notice your experience itself, right this moment. Acknowledging whatever you're experiencing, when you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw some slow, deep breaths in, and in your own good time, gently opening your eyes. Take your time.